Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm finally getting around to it. We're going to talk about all things Rosetta. I'm going to talk about some of the reveals they had, my general thoughts, and also try to give you a couple cards that I think naturally seem like they would fit into the heroes. They may or may not, but I think there's some cool ideas to think about, have some good discussion, and just give it a go. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Discord down below. We are 6 members away from 600. So if you're new to the channel, you like what you see, you want to have a good, open, fun community, definitely join. But yeah, we'll get right into it. So Rosetta was revealed at US Nationals just after the National Championship, where Evan won. Congrats to Evan. And they showed off 4 new heroes, and we're going to talk about them. 2 of the heroes they showed the abilities of, 2 of them they didn't. They're going to be doing the rest of the initial hero reveal at PT Amsterdam. But yeah, we'll get right into it. So Rosetta, for anyone who's not aware, is based in Aurora. Aurora is kind of like this, you know, it's all about the elements, right? Like earth and lightning and ice and things of that nature. It's all about the cycle of life, protecting that cycle. It's a very reclusive part of Wraith, where the people inside of it don't venture out too much. They're kind of out on their own almost. And it also has a bunch of like mystical creatures and beings, and you know, it's kind of like the highly fantasy of Wraith, so to speak. So we were in Aria originally in the Tales of Aria set, where Tales of Aria had Oldham, Lexi, and Briar. One of the most powerful sets in the history of Flesh and Blood. I think it is the most powerful set. Monarch could rival it, you could say, but I think the natural power level of both the heroes and the cards in Aria just put it over the top. All 3 of those heroes are already living legend. So going back to it, people are really excited because we know that LSS has taken the learnings that they got from Tales of Aria with the power level, and they're going to bring back the same flavor that people love, but hopefully, you know, a little bit tamer. So in this set, we had 2 Rune Blades and 2 Wizards. So it's going to be a 2-class, 1-talent set. We're going to have 2 Wizards, 2 Rune Blades, and then each class will have a Lightning version and an Earth version. So on the Rune Blade side, we have an Earth Rune Blade called Florian and a Lightning Rune Blade called Aurora. And then on the Wizard side, we have a Lightning Wizard. Or a wizard with they have Essence of Lightning or Essence of Earth. Essence of Lightning wizard called Auxilio, and an Essence of Earth called Verdance. So it's going to be really cool to see how draft plays out with those. The set releases at the end of September. We have some pre-releases in mid-September, September 13th through 16th, and then we have the world premiere in Tampa Bay first weekend of September. We also have preview season at the start of August. But we'll get right into the cards. I'm going to go right into the first hero and kind of talk about them. The first one that I'm really excited about, because I think they have like, and I can already kind of naturally see what their kit's going to be, because if we go back to Tales of Aria, the lightning cards and earth cards, like just lightning or just earth, like lightning was a little bit more flushed out, and elemental cards played into lightning a little bit better, and I'll kind of show you that here in a second. Whereas earth cards, the earth pool needs to be built out a little bit more. We don't have a ton of like true earth cards, and these heroes I think are really going to care about. It's similar to how LSS made Part the Mistveil very intrinsic with mystic cards, and you want to have mystic cards in your deck. I think in this set you're going to want to have those earth cards and have those lightning cards. It's not going to be like Briar, where you can just, I mean, you probably can a little bit, but we're not going to run a ton of generics. You're going to want to have the synergy that these elements bring. So Aurora this is a young version. Once per turn instant, pay 2 resources, create an embodiment of lightning token. Activate this only if you have played a lightning card this turn, and she has Essence of Lightning. So Aurora is going to be able to, basically is going to try to go wide, like a lot of Rune Blades, where she's going to be trying to have these wide chains, not quite like ninja like wide, like death by 1,000 cuts, but she's going to want to take advantage of that value. 2 resources is a lot, but I think there's going to be ways for her to have card draw. I think she's actually going to be a hero that says, okay, if you don't interact with me, if you let me deal damage, I'm going to get some card draw. I'm going to keep attacking, and I'm going to keep going, right? Which makes sense for lightning. For anyone that's not aware, embodiment of lightning says when you play an attack action card, destroy this, and the attack gains go again. So basically with Aurora, like if you play something like a lightning surge from Arsenal, which we'll talk about here in a second, you get 4 go again. You've played your lightning card. now you can play any attack like that doesn't have go again, right? I don't know. You could play CNC if you have enough resources for all this, of course, on like a 5-card hand, and then you can. Or before you play the CNC, sorry, once per turn instant, you pay 2 resources, create and buy a lightning token, then play the CNC, giving it go again, and you're off to the races. That's a random one. There's probably better examples, but that just kind of gives you an idea of what she can do. The one card that they showed, this is a lightning instance, so you technically could run this in Auxilio as well, and I think you will, is the first time you deal damage to an opposing hero each turn, draw a card. Channel lightning at the beginning of your end phase, put a flow counter on this, then destroy it unless you put a lightning card from your pitch zone on the bottom of your deck for each flow counter on it. So it works very similar to Channel Mount Heroic, where the first time you play this, at the it stays on the field for that turn, and then at the end of the turn you find 1 lightning card in your pitch zone, put it under, put that 1 flow counter on. Then the next turn you have to put 2 lightning cards in your pitch zone under to keep it alive, so on and so forth. So you can, most of the time off a decent turn, you can keep this alive for 2 turns. Some people kept Channel Mount Heroic alive for 3 turns sometimes, but it's really hard in Briar when she doesn't always want to pitch. But in heroes like this, I think Aurora and even Auxilio, because he's a wizard, because they're a wizard, you're going to be wanting to pitch a lot more. So I think these flow counter type cards are going to stay alive a lot longer. So again, you can start to see the pieces of, okay, I get Channel Lightning Valley out with Aurora. I play something like a Lightning Surge from Arsenal with Go Again. They don't want to block it. It's a 4 power, right? It hits a break point, so they don't block it. I dealt damage. I draw a card. I use that card then to activate my hero ability with Aurora to give my next attack Go Again. So you basically can play on like almost like these 6-card hands if your opponent doesn't want to interact with you, and you could go pretty wide with some of these cards, which is really, really cool. Some of the cards I wanted to bring up from Tales of Aria that I think might be pretty good in Aurora specifically. Electrify is kind of one I thought would be kind of cool. The next time an attack action card hits a hero this turn, it deals 3 damage to them. If Electrify was played from Arsenal, draw a card. So you're able to, play this from Arsenal and then play any attack, right? And give it potentially. So this is also a lightning card. I wanted to back this up. So this is a lightning card. It can help turn on Aurora's ability. You play this from Arsenal. You've now played a lightning card. You draw a card since it was played from Arsenal. You can pitch to Aurora's ability, activate the instant, giving something Go Again, and then play any attack that doesn't naturally have Go Again. And if that hits, it'll deal an additional 3 damage. So you can start to see how the dominoes fall with playing lightning cards that don't have to necessarily be even attack actions to turn on that hero ability, get that card draw, and get things going. And imagine having this out with a Channel Lightning Valley. Like you play Channel out Lightning Valley the turn before, then you play Electrify from Arsenal the second turn, drawing a card, play attack like, I don't know, anything like a Lightning Surge again. All of a sudden it's hitting for 4 physical and 3 arcane, and if they let that hit, it's going to draw another card, so you can really, really start to snowball your opponent if they don't want to interact with you. We also get cards like Entwined Lightning that are elemental. This will be really good, mainly for Aurora because Lightning Fusion, since Florian's Essence of Earth. If Entwined Lightning was fused, it gains Go Again. So again, you're able to really just snowball a lot of things out and go really wide, really fast. Again, like I said, Lightning was a little bit more synergistic naturally already with what Runeblade wants to do. So it's a little bit more built out than Earth. I think if you want to play the Earth heroes, we'll have to see what Wizard does, but if you want to play the Earth Runeblade, you're going to have to play a little bit more of a mix, and we'll have to see what Earth cards come in the new set, because right now Earth's a little bit weaker than Lightning naturally. And then also, I mentioned it several times, you get to play Lightning Surge, very, very good card. Again, playing these lightning cards to start the turn, to turn on her hero ability, try to get some card draw early, then use that card draw to pay into her ability and continue to go wide, right? Really, really good. She also gets access, and so does Auxilio, to Shock Charmers. Shock Charmers has gone way up. It was like a $20 card, $30 card. Now it's like $80, $90, I think. The next time an attack action card you control hits a hero this turn, deal 1 damage to them. Really good for just stacking that damage if you need to. It's also a good way to get cards in your pitch zone to keep Channel Lightning Valley up which is really, really good. And it has Spell Void too, right? It's just a really powerful card. One of the prettiest foils in the game that you're going to see as well. Definitely recommend looking at this card. I'm pretty sure that Japan is getting a reprint, like the Japanese printing specifically is getting a reprint of Arcanite Skullcap and this card, Shock Charmers, which makes complete sense. It's really nice for them to have access to those cards. They're really powerful. They're going to be powerful in this set. And I think them reprinting those in the Japanese market just shows like their applicability in this set. So that's really good. Then we have Florian. So one key note about Florian, they only showed the young version hero text, and they Brian Gottlieb specifically stated that Florian's adult text will be different than their young text. I don't know if that's the same for all the heroes, but I know specifically for Florian it is. But Florian's young hero text says, if there are 4 or more Earth cards in your banished zone, Florian gets, if you would create 1 or more Aura tokens, instead create that many plus 1 of these tokens. When it comes to Elemental Runeblade, the first 2 tokens in mind that you think of are Rune Chants, and it's specifically in this one with Essence of Earth, Embodiment of Earth. Embodiment of Earth is the first time you deal damage, create an Embodiment Earth token, and then your non-attack actions get plus 1 defense, like on your opponent's turn for 1 turn. It cracks. So Florian's gonna be able to make multiple of some of those tokens, right? People are saying this is Mordred tied on a stick, because if you make a Rune Chant and you have 4 Earth cards in your banished zone, you're gonna make 2 Rune Chants. So Florian's gonna be able to stack that damage quickly once he gets the cards he needs to get in banished. The key thing with Florian that I think is interesting is a lot of the Earth cards naturally right now put cards back into your deck, right? They don't put it into the grave. Not every card, but a lot of cards do. Cards like Evergreen, if you hit and it plays Marshall, it goes back. So Tomorrow puts a card from your grave back to the bottom of your deck, stuff like that. And you might not want to do that with Florian. You want to banish those cards. So it's gonna be an interesting, like I said, some of the Earth cards don't 100% synergize as well as the Lightning cards, so you're gonna have to work a little bit harder. So I think we're gonna get some good Earth cards in this set. But regardless, one of the cards that this is a Florian specialization, Germinate. Create a Rune Chant or Embodiment of Earth token. Repeat this process X more times, and then you gain X plus 1 life. So basically, this is XX. It works similar to Sonata Arcanics. So if you pay 6 into this, so pitch 2 blues, X will equal 3, since it's halved. So you'll repeat that process 3 times. Create a Rune Chant, then create or an Embodiment of Earth. And so you can repeat this. So let's say you want to create all Rune Chants because you're wanting to attack again after this. It doesn't have go again though, which is the interesting part. So this is gonna be a turn ender really. But regardless, with Florian's ability, let's just say for arguments to make it easy, you're gonna pick Rune Chant all 3 times since you pitched 6 into this. If Florian's ability is online, you're going to create 6 Rune Chants instead of 3, because if you ever create an Aura token, you would create that many plus 1. And since you're repeating this process 3 times, again, you'll make 6. You also could do it differently, where like you could, if you pitch 6 into this, you could, the first 2 times you choose Rune Chant and you make 4 Rune Chants off because of his ability, and then the last time that you go through the process, you pick Embodiment of Earth, and then you make 2 Embodiment of Earth tokens. So you just made 4 points of offensive value and 2 points of defensive value, potentially more, which is really, really good. And then finally, gain X plus 1. So if you pitch 6 in this and X equals 3, you will gain 4 life. So off of 2 blues, you could gain plus 4 value on your next offensive turn, plus 2 blocks to your non-attack actions on their turn, and gain 4 life. 4 life, which is really, really good. I feel like that's pretty good value. On a turn, I think it's a blue block 3, right? And on turns where you have the Runeblade hand, right, and you don't necessarily can't do a whole lot, this is a good way to get that value up and play a little bit defensively. This does point, though, that Runeblade is still going to be sticking with that attack, non-attack, attack, non-attack, because otherwise, like, why would they like care about embodiment of Earth tokens? So we'll see how Warmonger's Diplomacy deals with Runeblade, but you can't really tell until we see the full set. So we also have Felling of the Crown. If there are 4 or more Earth cards in your banished zone, this gets plus 4. And it says Decompose. When this attacks, you may banish 2 Earth cards and an attack action and an action card. So you can banish 2 Earth cards and an action card from your graveyard. If you do, each hero puts a card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. So I guess this is a good ending, like if you have nothing else in hand, because what this will allow you to do is like off a 2-card hand, you could pitch 3 for this for 4. It gets +4. That's top lined as a stack ability. So at any point, if you get 4 Earth cards and you banish it, it'll get +4. So you don't have to do it like the second it attacks. So you pitch 3, you play this, you banish the cards from your grave in order to get the decompose effect. And what this allows you to do is you're swinging a 3-card 8 or 2-card 8, right? A 3 for 8, and you're basically making your opponent discard a card. Not discard, but get rid of a card from their hand, which is really, really good because this doesn't say like if you do, each hero puts a card from their hand in the bottom of their deck. It doesn't say you must do that. It's just if you're able to. So I'm assuming off of a 2-card hand, if you can make this work perfectly, you block with 2 cards, you play just this, and you're swinging a 3 for 8, and you're making your opponent bottom a card, right? So your opponent's getting taxed a card, and you're still swinging for 8. I think that's pretty good. We'll see how much it works. I'm really excited to see the decompose effect. If there's a way to like just continue to make your opponent do stuff like this. I don't know if this will be played in the Wizards. It is an Earth attack action, so like you could. It's gonna be really interesting to see if Wizards are stick with the same like non-attack and instant type stuff, or if they do end up playing some cards like this, right? That are just good enders. So be really interesting for that. A couple small cards, like I said, Earth's not quite as built out as Lightning, so it's a little bit harder. But cards like Weave Earth, I think, would be really good for Florian. Being like, again, like you have a 3-card hand, you play Weave Earth, you fuse it with Felling of the Crown, or no, so you can't fuse it. So you don't fuse this card. So you play this for 3. Sorry, I'm still getting used to these cards again. You play this, giving your next Earth or Elemental attack action card +3, and then you play Felling of the Crown, pitching, have no more cards in hand. You're able to banish that Weave Earth that you just played along with a couple other cards, and potentially now this is a 3-card 11, and you're making your opponent get rid of a card from their hand. So again, some minor synergies there that I think might be useful. And then finally, Autumn's Touch. I just want to put this in there because it's funny. It's a blue block 3. This card originally was banned temporarily because of Starvo, even though it's just a generic card because it was so good for his synergy level. I just want to put this in there. But it is kind of cool that you can play like this a solid, 3 for 5 block 3 that's going to allow you to fuse, allow you to have more Earth cards in your grave for decompose, things of that nature. So really nice for that. Then we have the Wizards. So the Wizard abilities were not revealed yet. They will be revealed at PT Amsterdam, so everybody is speculating and waiting in anticipation for seeing what these is. This is Acilio, an elemental wizard hero with essence of lightning. Acilio is very interesting. One, I didn't notice this in the art, and you can't quite see it as well because of their name at the bottom. But if you look underneath the name on the bottom of the art, you see the people standing there. So Acilio is huge, like the size of a freaking skyscraper. I didn't notice that the first time I saw the artwork, which I thought was really cool. But Acilio had a couple cards that I think are kind of cool. Channel Lightning Valley will also could probably be used in Acilio. Having card draw in Wizard is very good. And I don't see a reason why you wouldn't play that in Acilio, at least early on. But he's going to have access to cards like Blink. This is a card I immediately thought of when I thought of Acilio. Being able to gain action points as a wizard, if you can't always play at instant speed, is very, very useful. So Blink being able to do this again at instant speed is very, very nice. This also can be played in Aurora technically as well. Gain, like, turn on her ability and gain action point. So you don't have to give like the next card go again if you don't want to. But Blink is a really cool card. It's a card that wasn't quite played as much in Tales of Aria, but I think it's a very powerful card. And then we have Verdance, the elemental wizard hero. The one that I'm most excited about, Reagan's most excited about. This is the Essence of Earth Elemental Wizard. Verdance seems like she's going to care a lot about life gain, at least with her specialization. Verdance specialization says gain 1, gain 1, gain 1, go again. It is a blue block 3 that costs 1. So giving Wizard go again already is very scary. We'll see how that goes. I'm assuming her ability is going to have something to do with gain life, like otherwise, you're just praying a block 3 blue Sigil of Solace, and that seems like it would be very powerful in its own right. But I'm really excited to see how they use her ability, because a lot of people are just excited for a different type of spectrum of wizard heroes. So that's gonna be really, really cool. Then we have the card that I am most excited about. I put it under Verdance because I want to talk about the synergies with her. I think it has, but this could also be used. Honestly, it could be used in Florian as well if you're running enough arcane. But it has go again when you play it, which is nice. Cost 3 to play. It's a Earth action aura, and it says when this enters the arena at the beginning of your action phase, amp 3. If people aren't aware what amp is, go look at the card Kindle that was released in this part of the Mistville set. Basically, it says when you have an effect that would deal arcane damage, it deals that much plus whatever amp is before prevention effect. So if something naturally deals 3 arcane, and this is on the field with amp 3, that means it will come in for 6 because it gets an amp by 3. This has Channel Earth that also works like the Channel Lightning, where at the end of each end phase, however many flow counters are on it, that's how many cards you have to bottom of that element. So this will be Earth. So the first time you play this, you'll have to have at least one card in your pitch zone that's Earth in order to keep it alive. But some of the cool synergies I thought, and I'm not saying these are game breaking, these are just where my head went. The first one is Surgent Aethertide. So this one is really cool. Being able to have Channel the Millennium Tree on the field, and then you start your turn, the next thing that deals arcane, because it doesn't say attack action, it says when this enters your action phase amp 3, so the next instance of arcane, you could swing with Surgent Aethertide for 4 because it's getting the +3 from the amp 3, and then Aethertide says the first card you play each turn with an arcane damage effect instead deals that much arcane plus X, where X is the damage dealt by Aethertide. So you're coming in for 4 arcane. Most people don't have AB4, and they're not going to want to block a staff with no on-hit effect, typically. So you're going to be able to swing for this and then play a 0-cost wizard attack. And let's say they don't block any of this, right? You're able to play stuff like Mind Warp that will come in now for if all 4 damage got through from Aethertide, it comes in for 6. And it says if this deals more than 2 damage to a hero, they shuffle their hand into their deck and then they draw that many cards +1. I'm not saying Mind Warp's broken by any means. It's just where my head went initially, which I thought was really, really cool. But it's going to make that Aethertide very threatening when channels up. I think that's kind of really cool. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be the main weapon. It might not end up being the main weapon, but that was just a really cool interaction. You also could play stuff like Sap and like any 0-cost damage spell. Basically off a 2-card hand, you can do like a 2-card 8, 2-card 10 in Wizard, which is insanely good if you're not playing anything at instant speed and you're not canoeing off the top. So very, very good there. When it comes to Florian's applicability, my immediate thought went to Bramble Spark. It has Earth Fusion. The next attack action card you play this turn says when you attack with this, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. If Bramble Spark was fused, the next attack action card you play this turn gets +3. So if Millennium Tree is on the field and you play this card and you fuse it, and then you play, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an Earth Fusion card that would make sense, but you just play an attack action Earth Fusion card, all of a sudden that's going to be coming in for 7, right? It's like because most of them come in or +3 attack. Sorry, my mind's all jumbled this morning. +3 attack and then +3 arcane plus the 1 from Bramble Spark. So like being able to just come in with an attack that deals a lot of damage, like you could play the Autumn's Touch, I don't know, anything, right? A 3 for 5, all of a sudden it's going to get +3 from Bramble Spark since Bramble Spark was fused. Like you could play Bramble Spark, fuse it with the Autumn's Touch that's still in your hand, pitch your final blue, play Autumn's Touch for 8 with 4 arcane, and that's just, you're getting some really cool value. Again, I'm sorry I can't think of like amazing examples off the top of my head, but basically the point of this is using Bramble Spark's 1 arcane it's already being dealt, and then getting the amp 3 from that 1 arcane to amp. Basically it's dealing 4 arcane now plus the 3 attack that it could be dealing if you fuse Bramble Spark. So some really cool little synergies there. I don't want to like go too crazy because I'm not sure what the decks or what the set's going to bring and like if it's going to change synergies around, but those are some of the cards that came to my head first. Another bonus card, Alluvian Constellus. If you want to play Wizard in the upcoming set, I highly recommend getting this card. I don't know why you win it. There's going to be a lot of arcane floating around, and it says the first time it prevents arcane damage each turn. If it has less than 4 energy counters on it, you may put a counter on it. Instant, remove 2 energy counters. The next staff ability you activate this turn costs 3 less. So if you end up playing a staff ability You know, you could play Ether Tide for free every time you get this to 4 counters, which is really good. It has natural AB1. I'm assuming Wizards will have some type of staff, maybe, in the new set. So maybe you could wait to see what their weapons are, but definitely keep an eye on this card at least. I think it's only going to go up in price because it's just really good. I mean, and because it says the first time it prevents damage each turn, you may put an energy counter on it. So it's going to take 4 turns to get it there. It's not every single time you prevent damage, so keep that in mind. But it's still a really, really good card. So a lot of cards there, a lot of thoughts. My head's all over the place, so I apologize if I misspoke on anything. Please correct me down in the comments. You all are always good at that, and I mean that genuinely, for helping keeping me honest. But thank you all so much. Let me know what you think about Rosetta. I'm super excited about it. I'm really excited to see what the Wizards are. I'm most excited about Redance personally. Life gain, I played a little bit of Magic, not a lot, and when I played like Life Gain Cleric or Life Gain Angels, and so like mono white. So to be able to play something similar to that in this game would be kind of cool. And it's just cool to see Wizard have a different spectrum. We've had Kano, which is, you know, crazy burn. We've had the taxing effects of Icelander, and now we might have like some cool different synergies, which I think will be really awesome. So thank you all so much. Hopefully you'll have a great rest of your day. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not me, though, it's totally fine. Go to another creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff. Let's get more people seeing this game, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.